everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington, you all. My name is Catherine Kaufman, and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to my Monday night show. This is where we discover what and who we are in this journey called life. Let me get some chat boxes going here. Get a little music on. I won't be able to hear it, but you guys will have to let me know if you're hearing it okay. Hey to see Biggs over here on Instagram. Good to see ya. Let me hop over to Facebook and make sure that that's going okay. And it looks like it is. Okay. Facebook is just a little bit slow with getting stuff on there. Of course, we never have a problem with Instagram. It's always it's always working. Why? Because it's working off my phone. That's why. Well, happy Monday, everybody. How is everyone? How is everyone before Turkey Day? You got all your preparations made and got all your turkey dressings in the refrigerator ready to cook. We're going out. I'm not cooking. No, I have been down with strep throat, and I am much better. So instead of giving everybody strep throat, I'm just going to go out to eat. And my family can come out to eat with me. Let me see. Let me check one thing here. Okay, well, everything looks good. It's just taking it a while to catch up with us over here. So tonight we're going to talk about how to recognize demonic influences that are surrounding you or around you. Why is this important? Actually, can somebody on Instagram or Facebook give me a shout out for audio? Shout out for audio. Hey Shay over on Facebook, can you give me a shout out for audio and see if you guys can hear me okay? Let's see. Well, anybody who hops on, just need a shout out for audio. So yeah, see Biggs, it's always clear on Instagram, like I said. So Janice, thank you for that. So you can hear me okay. I know this one was important for you. And in today's world, I think that what we're going to discuss tonight is super important for everybody, because this is not something that I was taught in at church, and I'm not sure why that they didn't teach this in church or didn't go over it, because this is something that we're exposed to every single day. We are under an onslaught from the dark. And if you are not careful and not diligent, you could end up in a very bad place spiritually. Now, so what we're going to do is talk about how to recognize demonic influences around you, and then I want to go into the 5-step process that usually happens towards possession. So the first thing that how to recognize is through using your gut instinct or your clairsentient instinct. And your clairsentience is located in your solar plexus area. So you want to, what is the basic feeling of what you're getting from either someone or someplace? Now, your mind can try to talk you out of stuff, and a lot of times it will, but if you can just raw first, without any kind of influence, see what your gut tells you, that's going to be the most accurate. Now, if you want to try to improve that, one way to do that is to use some hand positioning to increase the senses that are coming into your body. So what you'll want to do is take your right hand and place it over your solar plexus. And what that does is it's going to, the right side of your body connects with your left brain, and that's your cognitive, scientific side. Hey to Yasmin and Susan, good to see you guys. And Will the Wizard. So you want to connect with that cognitive side to bring focus down to this area. Then you're going to extend your left hand out into the environment. Now, I know you can't really do this if you're evaluating a person, but in a place you can. Now, your left side of your body is connected to your right brain, so that's right brain information that's flooding in. And if you're concentrating using the tactile touch of your hand over this area, it's going to improve the amount of information that you are receiving. And if you practice this a lot, and I encourage everybody to do that, if you practice that a lot, it will highly boost your clairaudient ability and the accuracy of your clairaudient ability. So that's the first thing that you're going to do, is to use the sensing. Now, the things that you're going to sense, the things that you're going to want to watch out for or to pay attention to are these following feelings. Apprehension is a number one big thing that you need to pay attention to. Fear, despair, darkness or negativity, and depression. But apprehension is your subconscious's first thing that they're going to throw up in front of you to say, don't go in there, or don't deal with this. The use of the hand positioning can really help focus your intuition. Okay. Now, here's some other things that you need to pay attention to. A place that has a moving death odor. When I say moving, I mean first you're going to smell it in this room, and then you're going to smell, wait a second, now I'm smelling it over here. And then you go into another room, and now you're smelling it back here. So it's not a fixed smell of death per se. It's moving. Also, this can be a smell of rotting meat, rotting corpses, rotting odors, sulfur odors, or the very strong onion smell. You're also going to be tuned into and watch for, and they can be alive or they can be dead. It doesn't matter if it's a pile that is already dead, hordes of insects, either dead or alive. It doesn't matter. And you're going to look for those such as flies, worms, maggots, beetles, those type of things. Now, most often, demons use provocation through other peoples that are associated with us to push us to break, to to break our connection with God. They will often say things that are designed for a specific response to either trick or trap you. And this is a technique, and they really don't know that they're doing it. They are being demonically influenced. What you can do for that, because you need to do something about that. Some people will just say stay away from them. Yes, that, but definitely need to say deliverance prayers for them in the evening at night when their psyche is can be influenced by the prayer work, especially when they're asleep. Hey to Sheila, good to see you. So when a person is asleep, the subconscious is more likely towards influence than when the person is awake and the auric field is in control. So you would want to say a deliverance prayer specifically for them after they go to sleep, so that the subconscious is not as controlled. Because people who will try to trick or trap you that are already under demonic influence, they're looking for a response that they can work on, a response that they can use to try to further tear you down. So what I did was I looked up to see how are we supposed to handle this? And Jesus said the best way is to use silence as your shield. So simply silence, or if you have to say something, you could say something like, well, I will need to think on that, or I'll need to pray on that, or I will need to consider that, and then not get back to them. Because they're wanting to drive a wedge between you and God, is what they're wanting to do. And if they can trick or trap you, it's a type of control. And if they can control you, then you're not under God's wing. A demon's primary goal is to separate your spirit from God through anger, resentment, or immorality. Then it will set about to destroy you once the above goal is achieved. If you can just remember what the goals are that they have, is to separate your spirit through anger, resentment, or immorality. Those three things. If you can keep those in your mind, then chances are you'll be okay. And keep prayer at the forefront of your life every day and asking for protection. So maintain a shield from God and exude light. They hate light. They hate people who exude light. When you feel others are out to attack you, this can produce a different reaction for those that are influenced by demons. In other words, if you're exuding light and you radiate God's love and protection, that's an instant turn away for them. Because then it's too difficult. What demons want is somebody who's easy to infect. And there's plenty of us out there. The next thing that you might want to be aware of is disturbing dreams. These are dreams that are out of the normal of sleep. When sleep becomes a continuous battle with unknown forces, when friends or family suddenly morph into someone or something that is evil. And that's why I keep telling people about hauntings where there's a little boy spirit or a little girl spirit. 99% of all hauntings are not children. The demon will use a child's shape to have you lower your defenses. It is a tactic that they use. Also, in your dreams, they will present themselves as your friends, as your family, and then you'll see, as you get closer to them, or as you start to interact, that person starts to morph into a creature, and things start to go all wrong in the dream. And so it was never the friend or family in the first place. They specifically used that as a tactic. Recurring dreams and nightmares that have the same violent end. And I mean, usually recurring dreams are something that you're supposed to work on, but these are violent dreams in which you're being attacked, or you're being killed, or things are coming at you. That's the type of dreams that we're talking about. Sleep paralysis goes with this, guys. And a lot of people will say, well, sleep paralysis has been shown to just be a physiological, scientific thing. But if you look at the collective of people who report about sleep paralysis, I don't know a percentage, but a very high percentage of them will report demonic type attacks and seeing demonic type of beings in the sleep paralysis. So crazy. Also, in your dreams, we're talking about dreams now. If you're getting attacked in your dreams, that's one of the things that happens if you're having a demonic influence around. Seeing shadow figures, either in your dream or in your house. If you are seeing shadow figures, that is an indication of a demonic influence that is around you. Whew. I hope none of this ever happens to y'all. But if it does, we'll know what to do. Now, if you wake up with unexplained red marks or scratches upon your body, and you don't know where they came from, a bite mark, scratches, especially if they come in threes, bruises, especially in places where you can't reach, that is a clear indicator too. Here's another one that is important, because in my past this has happened to me. Sleep that provides no rest. And so, like, you go to bed, you sleep for 8 hours, you get up, and it's like you just went to bed. I mean, it feels like you haven't slept at all. And so people who have demonic influence around them, well, they'll just try to get more sleep. Well, let's sleep 12 hours, sleep 13 hours, and you're still tired, still getting up just as tired. That's a big indicator. Now, this is different than the nightmares, is night terrors, where things are extremely vivid and you have trouble discerning whether you're awake or asleep. That's a night terror. So night terrors are an indicator of demonic influences around you. If your plants die, and I'm not talking about from neglect, or there's some people who just can't keep plants. But if you've kept plants really well, and then all of a sudden everything starts to die, and you're seeing more flies and more insects and stuff around, that's an indicator of demonic influences around you. David makes a big margarita. Cheers to everybody. Good. So, night terrors. 3 a.m. increased demonic activity. If you get woke up every night at 3 a.m., there's a problem. Especially if you couple that with seeing a shadow thing in the hallway. It's time to get out your Bible. Time to get out your Bible. So, the 3 a.m. phenomena is increased demonic activity, and people also may experience sleep paralysis more at 3 a.m. than any other time. And I think it could be because of that demonic activity, that 3 a.m. demonic activity. Speaking in another language in your sleep, not a good sign. That's when you need to call probably an exorcist. Again, the objective is to wear you down and separate you from the divine. Here's how you get into this mess. Because remember, demons are always looking for a way in. They are always scanning, looking for a way in. You don't have to do anything. But if you do the following things, these are just signs of come on down, water's fine. Invitations. Any kind of invitation that's made to a demon. This will surprise you. When you see shows on TV where someone is knocking at the door and the person gets up in the middle of the night and they go and open the door, that's an invitation. Opening the door is an invitation. So, don't open the door to hear anything. Occult practices are open door. I hate to say it. Dabbling in magical practices are an open door. Now, there are people who know what they're doing and they know how to stay safe. If you are not an expert at this, leave it alone. Hey to Pamela Lowe, good to see you tonight. And Melissa Begley, good to see you too. Any kind of stuff that you did as a kid where, you might have threw an invitation out there to Satan, just being funny, you better revoke that. Exposure to demonic influences in music and video. Be careful what you're listening to, because a lot of that stuff has subliminal messaging. Friend associations that desensitize you to morality issues. They may say, oh, it's fine for me. I have never had anything happen to me. Sleepwalking and sleep talking are signs that you better beef up your protection. Inhabiting a known spiritually contaminated place. If you go and you buy let's say you buy a funeral home knowingly, it's a contaminated space. You can't just go in and cleanse that. It's not going to happen. Always check the history of any home or house that you decide to buy, or any property that you decide to buy. Now, when you're sleepwalking and sleep talking, usually the person will not have any kind of memory of the incident, especially if they're talking in another language. Spiritual protection requires prayer work to have your soul under God's protection while you are asleep. While you are asleep, you are at the most vulnerable, because when you are awake, your aura is in control of your auric field. Now let's talk about the steps towards possession. The first step is, now remember, demonics are always caucusing everybody in their environment for any way in. If the door knocked on your house and you went and opened it, That's a way in. That's an invitation. Be careful of any kind of invitations that you put out there doing occult work, dabbling with magic, immoral type of situations. So they're always looking for a way in. And once they find that niche where they can get in, that is the phase of infestation. Infestation is invasion by a harmful parasite or entity. This is when they discover the defenses are down or non-existent. They may pick a family that believes in God and Jesus, but they just don't go to church and pray. So that's a sure way in. That's a non-existent defense barrier. They may have a precursor for dominions such as previous occult activities. So that's a previous stamp of approval, and they're in. The next step is oppression. And that's where influences are down on the person. They're negative and ongoing. And it's a negative, cruel, or unfair power over someone. This is where the extreme depression comes in too. And we call this oppression, and then depression also follows that. The next one, now there can be more steps to what I'm giving you, these basic 5. There can be more steps, or they can be less. I mean, they can just skip right to the possession if things are bad enough. But obsession, a persistent obsession, disturbing preoccupation with an unreasonable association, negative, persistent ideations. So, and these are usually paranoid type of ideations that the person will exhibit. Temptation is the next one. Enticements or desires placed in your path to weaken your will. These will come with persuasive offers or promises to draw you off your path. And you will think that, let's say you conquer one huge temptation, you'll think, okay, that's it. Just when you think things are okay, here comes another one. And you're like, really? How many times do we have to go through this? But it's because demons are always looking for a way in. So it's going to be ongoing. Then we get into possession. That's when the demonic claims possession over the person's body who is vulnerable and gone through the stages of infestation, oppression, and obsession. Demonic forces are allowed to indwell in the physical body and to take control over thoughts and actions. The person's demeanor and personality dramatically change to where they are unrecognizable. And that's when friends and family usually step in and try to get the person some help. But the person that has to, like, you can have all the help in the world, but if the person who's possessed themselves doesn't ask for help, then they're lost, because they are the ones that have to ask God for help and reach out. Let's see. So, what do we need to do? Keep that light around you. Keep radiating that light that comes from the connection to God. Keep your spiritual protection up. Keep your prayer work going. Leave no stone unturned as to any kind of invitation. If there wasn't an invitation in the past, revoke it, revoke it, revoke it. And also, I think I have another video on this, but really pump up your spiritual protection at night, specifically when you're asleep. So that means a prayer protection before you go to bed, maybe a consecrated crucifix under your pillow, or a picture or some kind of consecrated item to put that layer of protection over you. Consecrated salt. And yeah, but there's no way to avoid demonics being around you. It's just going to happen. And so I think, and especially now when people are turning to the demonic influences as an option, and we're seeing that in the way that people treat each other, and the lack of compassion and empathy that is being spread around. So now more than ever, I think that it is important that we know these things and we practice them. Let me see. Let me check for a last minute question. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys too. I've got some Christmas ghost stories. And we did this one year. It's been a couple years, but we did it one year. I read you guys like some Christmas ghost stories. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know if you would like to see that before Christmas. And I will get out my books and look through them for some really cool ghost stories. And this used to be something that people did in the old days a lot, was they would read ghost stories at Christmas time. So let me know what you think, and if you think it's a good idea and that's something you'd be interested in listening to, let me know in the comments, and I will get out those books. It will kind of be like, there's a YouTube video called Ghostly Tales, and it's these two guys from England, and they do a bunch of ghost stories, and I listen to those, and I think they're pretty good. I like them. So I will see you next time. Hopefully I get over all this strep throat business and back to normal. Kisses from Kentucky. See you guys later.